Terrific collegiate gymnastics stars Emily Parsons of Nebraska and Corey Hartung of Florida headline tonight on ESPN2. Gymnastics. What does it take to be one of the best? Focus, grit, fearlessness, speed, strength, and intensity. Pound for pound among the strongest athletes in the world, the gymnasts have come to Fayetteville, Arkansas to start the season off in search of the elusive Perfect 10. Will we see one tonight? Coming up next on ESPN2. Welcome inside the Barnhill Arena on the campus of the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville, Arkansas for the 2007 Super 6 Challenge Gymnastics Competition. Hi everyone, I'm Bart Connor, and we're glad you've joined us for the coverage here on ESPN2 of this early season competition, a very important and prestigious event to start off the 2007 gymnastics season here on ESPN2. Now we have 6 teams in this contest, all of them ranked in the top 20 in the United States. Let's take a look at the preseason standings. Florida is ranked 3rd there in today's contest, as is Nebraska in 7th and LSU in 9th. Penn State 14th, Arkansas 15th, and Denver 17th. All of the 6 teams in today's contest ranked in the top 20 in the United States. I'm joined, as always, by double Olympic medalist Kathy Johnson-Clark. And Kathy, it's great to be working with you again. And we, of course, love coming to this competition because it is an early season test for all of these teams. For Penn State, Arkansas, and Denver, perhaps a chance to notch a win against some higher-ranked teams. And speaking of higher-ranked teams, let's first of all focus on Nebraska.
Now, Nebraska could have a great season this year. Last year, they finished 5th at the NCAA National Championships, and they are led by a dynamite all-around gymnast. She's particularly dynamic in the vault and the floor exercise, but having the strength in the all-around could take this team, which is a very good team, and make it a great team this season.
And what about the SEC powerhouses? First of all, LSU. We talked to Dee Bro, the 30-year veteran coach at LSU, and I said, what do you think of this meet? She goes, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. This is so much pressure early in the season, but she has additional pressure because she's missing one of her superstars to graduation.
I talked to Dee during the warm-ups, and she wouldn't completely acknowledge that those are impossible shoes to fill, but April Burkholder is arguably the most successful gymnast that LSU has ever had in its gymnastics history. Her dynamics on the floor, her personality really led that team, and they're going to miss her greatly. We'll have to see how they do.
Let's talk about the top-ranked team coming into here, of course. That's Rhonda Fain's University of Florida Gators.
Oh, wow. This is a team that has just steadily been on the rise. They finished 4th last year at the National Championships. I know Rhonda Fain wants to finish in the top 3, and they have an absolutely gorgeous gymnast, Corey Hartung, that will be so wonderful to watch. From her impeccable toe point, her form, elegance, flexibility. I just love the style of her gymnastics, and she can help lead this team.
All right, well, the 2007 Super 6 Challenge Gymnastics Competition will get underway when we come back. Don't go away. Gymnastics coming up on ESPN2. Welcome back to the Super 6 Challenge here at Barnhill Arena in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We are ready to start the competition. Let's take a look at the breakdown of how this competition works. There are 6 schools competing on 4 apparatus: the floor, uneven bars, balance beam, and the vault. 6 separate rotations, so in each rotation, 4 teams will be competing simultaneously, while the other 2 teams have a bye. Now, 6 gymnasts compete for each team in each event, but only the top 5 scores count towards their team total. In the first rotation, we'll see Florida on the floor, Nebraska on the beam, Arkansas will start on the bars, LSU on the vault. And you'll note both Denver and Penn State are on a bye. Hartung now up for Florida on floor. Kathy, you said at the top of the show this could be a highlight. Well, we're leading off with it.
Perfect music choice for this gymnast. Very expressive.
Sophomore All-American. Finalist on beam and floor at last year's NCAAs.
Florida's off to a good start on floor exercise. At a 9.575, which hopefully they'll drop as their low score. 9.825 to lead into Corey Hartung.
9.825 was from Melanie Sinclair, out 18 months, came back from an ACL injury to post a strong score for floor.
Beautiful composition. Very elegant routine.
Rhonda Fain said they had several minor injuries that have sort of weakened their field coming into this contest. Some ankle injuries that are keeping people like Savannah Evans out, Tiffany Murray as well. So they have a very deep team. It's not likely that it'll hurt them too much.
She did say it'd be interesting, though. Not sure how the freshmen, especially in a meet, first meet of the season, first time in college gymnastics.
Turning 7 All-Americans. Let's go to the bars now for Arkansas. Casey Jo McGee, the freshman out of Eugene, Oregon.
Arkansas has a couple low scores they'd like to drop.
Their first performer, DiFilippo, had a 9.725, but Drew at a 9.3, Daniels a 9.35. Arkansas also had several off-season ankle injuries. Head coach Mark and Renee Cook said they might expect a little bit of a slower start this year than in the past, but nice performance from McGee.
Nice form throughout. That should pick them up a bit. Nice form here, 1.5 pirouette. Good transition to low bar. Showed really excellent form on the dismount. Full twisting double back. Right here, see how tight her knees are together. Oh, perfect. Just a step back.
Clean performance there for McGee on the bars. Quickly over to the vault. LSU off to an incredible start on vault. Kelly Phelan now.
Great work so far. Full twist in Yurchenko. Look at that landing. Imagine that. First meet of the season. No wonder she's excited.
Head coach Dee Bro said she is my dependable girl. She will hit when we need a hit.
Nice form, and she just glued her toes to that mat.
And a 9.925 here in the first rotation. Now on balance beam, Nebraska, Emily Parsons.
This is where your team leader really can earn her position on the balance beam. First meet of the season. Certainly a lot of nerves in this arena.
She said she likes having a tough competition at the beginning of the year. It really focuses his team early, is a real important test. She loves all things about gymnastics except bars. She said, I struggle on bars, it's not my fault.
She earned second team All-American honors on this event.
2006 NCAAs. Nebraska finished 5th. They come into this competition 7th in the preseason polls. Dan Kendick, the head coach there, 14th year. Dana Durante, the assistant. Tim Garrison is a first-year assistant, formerly club coach from San Diego.
Nice job. Very, very nicely done.
As you mentioned, their goal is to be the top 3 at the Nationals and expect more energetic and upbeat routines, especially on the floor for Nebraska. They all have new choreography, and they're proud of it.
Yeah, she was very confident throughout this entire routine. Very solid. Twist. Nice landing.
All right, little team huddle after the first rotation for Nebraska. Let's take a look at their team scores. Unfortunate 8-8-5 for Zabawa first. 9-1-2-5, 9-6-2-5, 9-7, 9-4-5. Not the start that Nebraska wanted. Nerves perhaps showing on the first event. Unlucky to draw a beam. They'll have to rally if they hope to contend for this challenge title today. From England, Nicola Willis, University of Florida. She was a member of the English team to the Olympics in 2004 in Athens. Floor exercise is her favorite and her best.
You'll see why. Watch this tumble. Oh, a little stumble in the corner.
Oh,
layout.
my goodness.
Beautiful. This time in pike position. Strong performance.
Boy, that was a spectacular double layout, and she still had the endurance at the end to finish with a big pike double back. What power and technique, too.
Great technique. But look at the bounce right here, just quick off the floor, maintains that laid out position. Great landing.
Is on Paul Denver on the bars, Arkansas. Thanks for the lead. And Slate will be on floor.
She can front tumble as well, front full to a front tuck. To finish with a pike double back. Again, beginning of the season, nice high pike double back. You'll see that at the beginning of some routines.
Great routine for Nicola Willis. And let's take a look at the scores for Florida on the floor exercise. Their opening event, 9.575 for Rue, 9.725. 3 of them for Sinclair, Hartung, and Castillo. Ashley Reed with a 9.85. We'll wait for the score for Nicola Willis. And that's coming in now, another 9.825. Remember, just the top 5 scores count towards their team total. There is head coach Rhonda Fain in her 5th year as the head coach of the Gators. She will take her team to the vault when we come back. more exciting gymnastics, the 2007 Super 6 Challenge on ESPN2. Florida's coming up on the ball in a minute. Here are the standings after the first rotation. LSU with a spectacular performance on the vault. 0.6 of a point lead over Florida, followed by Arkansas and Nebraska. Why is LSU in the lead? Well, check it out. Ashley Claire Curdy, the 5'4" junior, nailed this vault, scoring a perfect 10 in the first rotation.
Fantastic vault, impeccable landing. I can't even believe it. And that capped off an amazing rotation for LSU on the vault.
Their lowest score was a 9.75. They dropped. They had 9.85s, 9.875, 9.925 from Phelan. And then this.
Perfect form in the air and could not do a better job of sticking that landing.
She was out all of 06 with a foot injury, so it's good that she is back, and in the opening meet of the season, nails a 10 in her first performance. LSU hot here in the first rotation. Now we get ready for the second rotation. Penn State goes to the floor, Arkansas to the beam. Denver will open their competition on the bars, and Florida to vault. Up now for Denver on bars. Courtney Butler, the junior, specializes in vault and uneven bars out of Midwest Gymnastics. Competed in all 13 meets for Denver last year. Very consistent and durable. Oh, no!
Oh, that was painful.
Oh, an enormous amount of pressure on those. Shoot half over the low bar. See if we can see what happened here. She had a huge release.
Just completely missed time, the release. She hit her head coming down. I was afraid she'd hurt her shoulder or thumb or something catching on that bar.
John Figueroa, the 7th-year assistant coach, trying to consult with her to see if she can finish this routine.
Boy, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and that is
really missed time.
You see how huge this release move was. The Jaeger. She was swinging it big, wasn't she?
Very big, and it almost held on too long, and then just lost the rotation into the handstand. Just, you drop hard at that point. Finishing the routine, lay it out, full twisting double back. Very difficult dismount, but just not up to the task.
Now, this is not uncommon in a first meet of the season. They're just coming off their holiday break, and very upset about that. Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt gives her a pat on the back. She's the 8th-year head coach of the Pioneers at Denver. Brandy Personette now on the floor for Penn State. Remember, this is a 4-ring circus, 4 events going simultaneously. 2 teams on a bye.
Doing well so far on the floor exercise. Penn State has scores ranging from 9.575 all the way up to 9.725. Decent scores.
Alex Rockaway had that 9.725. Personette's just a freshman from Katy, Texas. Former junior national team member. Oh, nice.
Very big full twisting double back and piked position.
She missed all of 2005 with a torn Achilles tendon, and to see her come back so powerfully.
It's nice we've actually seen some variety in those first tumbling passes, from double layouts to full twisting double backs.
I like her tumbling technique. Hideo Mizuguchi, her coach down there at Champion Academy, Katy, Texas.
Good job. Up from head coach Steve Shepard.
Melanie Sinclair to the ball.
Chenko laid out full twist.
Congratulations there, and quickly to the bars. Boy, as you can tell, this is non-stop action.
Very nice landing on that double front dismount. Good stuff happening all around. Picking it back up on bars. Look at that. Finish the second rotation at the level of the high bar. That is amplitude.
We'll see more from that young lady, Jessica Lopez, the sophomore from the Venezuelan national team. One of the tri-captains of the Florida team, Ashley Reed, the junior out of Davie, Florida, now to the vault.
And Florida has some pretty big scores leading up to this.
Oh,
Voltusing
nice.
Yurchenko, a great landing.
What technique.
We've seen some really good landings.
9.85 for Ashley Reed on the vault. All the scores there between 9.75 for Rue. Zeiser at a 9.775. Willis a 9.825. Sinclair a 9.725. Quickly to the floor for Penn State, Carissa Perkle, the 5-foot senior out of West Islip, New York. Penn State's head coach, Steve Shepard, he's been there 15 years. He said, Carissa is my steady Eddie.
Went out of bounds.
He counts on her solid performances and her leadership.
Stepping out of bounds will be a 10th point off. That's a pretty common mistake you see early in the season.
Right.
Penn State has some very good scores. They have one low score of 9.0 that they would like to drop.
Coach Shepard said this is a young team, but a deep team. They have 6 newcomers, and they lost 4 terrific seniors to graduation last year. So the key performances from his freshmen will be vital to their success today. Carissa Perkle was the Big Ten vaulting champ last year, one of her highlights, and academic all Big Ten as well. So she's a great student athlete all around.
First thought she had this landing. Pike double back, just bounced back a little too far. That'll cost her a tap. Other than the out of bounds, pretty solid performance.
For Florida now on the vault will be Amanda Castillo. She's an all-arounder, but really a floor and vault specialist.
Boy, and Florida is doing so well in this event. That is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
1.5 twist. One of the few we'll see in the competition. Very difficult. Much harder to land than the full twist.
04 and 05, she was the Junior Olympic national champ on the floor. All right, here are the scores for Florida on the vault. You can see their scores all range between 9.75, the lowest, which will be dropped, up to a pair of 9.85s for Reed and Castillo. The Super 6 Challenge from Fayetteville, Arkansas will continue. We'll see more from these exciting gymnasts. The best of the best, and Rhonda Fain, the head coach from the University of Florida, will join us live right here in our booth. Welcome back for competition in Rotation 3 at the 2007 Super 6 Challenge Gymnastics competition here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Here are the standings after the second rotation. Florida, after outstanding performances in the floor and the vault, off to a commanding lead, 2.3 over Arkansas. Then LSU, Denver, Penn State, and Nebraska round out the field here. Now we're pleased to be joined in the booth by head coach from Florida, and tell a little bit about your program and how you think the girls have performed to this point in the competition at the halfway point for you.
I would definitely say that so far we're doing a very fine job. We've made some mistakes as far as steps here or there, but it's so early. It's the first meet of the season, and we're putting out a lot of new routines, a lot of new faces in our lineup, and this is key that they get the experience in this type of setting right now. So it's going very well.
Now you have a couple of your stars who are not here. One with the flu, Savannah Evans, and Tiffany Murray's been out.
Right. Well, Tiffany is definitely one of our strongest vaulters and our highest score there, and also in floor. And she had 3 surgeries over the summer, and it was just really crucial to get all of those areas fixed. And so we're looking. She's getting there. Probably within about 3 weeks to a month, she'll be ready to go. And Savannah did come back from Christmas very sick, and so she's a top floor and vault performer for us as well. So it's nice to see some new faces out there.
Under your program, of course, 11 gymnasts, 25 All-Americans, 8 All-SEC accolades, 4th place last year at the NCAA championships. This is obviously an early season test. How do you pace the team throughout the year to be ready for that NCAA championship?
It's a difficult job as far as making sure that they are not peaking too early, and so this whole competition, we're looking just to get out there with all the new skills, the new faces, and to go back and improve and work on our landings, working on making everything bigger and expressing everything more, taking it one thing at a time, and then just going from there.
I know what I'd like to ask you, that looking at the big picture,
Right.
You've got 4 teams who've won the national championships.
Right.
And I know you're ambitious. I know where you want to end up. You're 4th. You'd like to be in the top 3. How do you beat Alabama or Georgia, UCLA, Utah, the only teams to have ever won the national championships? What do you do?
Well, you know, that's a great question, Kathy. That's what we're striving for, obviously. And I honestly have to say, like, this team that we have this year, I feel that we have a chance to do that. And it's getting our athletes out there and raising that skill level to be not only competitive with those teams, but to be better than those teams skill-wise. And then perfecting those more difficult routines so that it makes the judges stop and say, oh, wait, we have to pay attention to this team now. We can no longer not give them a benefit of the doubt and really pay attention.
Now, as a college coach, you get gymnasts from all over the country with different backgrounds, different training techniques. How do you balance, say, an Amanda Castillo, very exciting young freshman, and Corey Hartung, just completely different styles?
Completely different. And it's wonderful, especially at Florida, and I'm sure everywhere else. We really like to treat them as individuals. And Amanda is so quick and so powerful, and she's a little, she's a spark plug. And then there's Corey, who is just so much grace and beauty and long lines and flexibility. And that, you know, we have to train them differently, obviously, because Amanda can withstand a little bit more than Corey. And that's the key, is to be able to make sure that they're prepared individually as well.
Now, Rhonda, you came with the floor exercise performance and the vault events where you can't fall off of.
Right.
You have yet to do the bars and the beam.
Right.
What are you going to say to your team as you get set for the second half of the competition for you?
Well, our team is really, really focused, as far as they know that in the past, beam and bars have been very strong events for us as well. I think our bars right now is possibly one of our best events, so that should give them a lot of confidence. Melanie Sinclair, I honestly feel every time she goes out, she could score a 10. And balance beam, it's a matter of just finishing up strong in the competition.
Well, Rhonda, we appreciate you stopping by and talking with us. We're going to get back to the action in Rotation 3 at the Super 6 Challenge right after this. Thanks for joining us, Rhonda, and good luck in the second half of the competition.
Thanks, Bart. Thanks, Kathy.
Jessica Lopez now on the balance beam for Denver. We saw her earlier. She was spectacular on the uneven bars.
9.975. Beautiful form, technique.
Former member of the Venezuelan national team.
Very steady combination. Walk over right to a backhand spin.
Denver finished 16th in the NCAAs last year in the preseason poll. This year coming into 17th. Oh no. That's Head coach Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt told me that 12 of their 14 lettersmen are returning. 4 seniors, 22 of 24 routines basically return to the lineup when everybody's healthy. They only made the NCAAs once. That was in 2001.
Double twist dismount. A little short on the landing. For some beautiful work there.
Typically, Denver starts off strong early in the season. 7-meet win streak last year from January 20th to February 24th. But Coach Kutcher-Reinhardt told me that expect them to start a little bit slower this year. Trisha Wu now on the floor.
Oh, beautiful pass. Triple twist.
Trisha's a sophomore from Milpitas, California. Went to West Valley Gymnastics, which was the program that produced Olympian Amy Chow.
She finished 10th on this event, the NCAA event finals.
Dana Durante, the assistant coach, told us expect more distinctiveness in their routines because they all have new choreography and they're quite proud of it.
It's nice to see some different choreography, different choice of music than we will typically see in collegiate gymnastics.
To the vault now for Penn State, Brandy Personette ready to go. She's the freshman. We saw her on the floor with a 9.825.
Decent scores so far for Penn State. Wow, it was pretty in the air, but had some trouble on the landing. Almost looked like she didn't expect it. Ooh, I think it might have hurt the ankle.
She missed 2005, the entire season, with a torn Achilles tendon. So
don't like to see rough landings. She wasn't quite on the horse. Ooh, you could almost see that ankle turn just a little bit. Buckled up.
Kylie Stone on floor now for Nebraska. She's great on this event. Competed in the Olympics in 2004 and the 2003 World Championships for Canada, her home country. Wow.
Double layout. More and more common these days in collegiate gymnastics.
From Calgary, trained at their national sports school up there.
slight stumble on that final double back.
Kylie Stone says her heroes in gymnastics are the Romanian national team, and one of her highlights was meeting my wife Nadia from the beach. That was one of my highlights too.
Yes, exactly.
Boy, great technique and power.
It's just amazing how easily some of these gymnasts do these difficult tumbling skills. She just got her feet a little too far under, but handled it.
Emily Parsons now for Nebraska on the floor.
Wow, huge layup. I mean, the others we've seen were good.
That was in a class by itself. She started gymnastics at the age of 2, says her favorite gymnast of all time is Dominique Dawes. Dawes, of course, the Olympic great and Olympic gold medalist from the 1996 Magnificent 17.
Wow, I don't know how she pulled that out.
Wow.
Very strong.
Emily Parsons says her favorite number is 10. Well, I think most gymnasts, that's a favorite. Her favorite piece of jewelry is her Big 12 ring from winning the championship in Nebraska in 2005.
When ready, signal and
We'll be back with more of the 2007 Super 6 Challenge when we come back to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Don't go away. Super 6 Gymnastics Challenge, ready for the start of rotation 4. Let's take a look at the standings. After 3 rotations, everybody's competed on 2 events, so the scores are matched up there. LSU with a 0.4 point lead over Florida, Penn State in 3rd, Nebraska, Arkansas, and Denver, rounding out the field of 6 teams here. In this rotation, we will see Arkansas on the floor, LSU on the beam. Florida goes to bars, and Nebraska will be on the vault. Penn State and Denver are on a bye. We go to the floor, and it will be Casey Jo McGee for Arkansas.
Arkansas had a bit of a rough time on balance beam, so they're coming back a little bit and hoping for lots more on floor exercise, competing here in their home arena.
They had some low scores there, an 8.85, a 9.1, a 9.2, and then 3 good scores, a 9.675, 9.75, and a 9.8. Casey Jo McGee had the highest score for them, the 9.8 on the bars. Let's see what she can do on the floor.
out of bounds.
The head coach of Arkansas, Mark Cook, said that their goal this year is to finish in the top 10 nationally, make it back to nationals. They have 6 freshmen that they're relying on, so little additional pressure to start the season. Their best event typically is the bars, where they're the deepest as well as on the balance beam. Stephanie Carter for Nebraska on the vault now.
They are trying to crawl out of the hole they dug themselves over on the balance beam. Coming back steadily. They're 0.2 of a point behind Penn State at this point.
They came back on the floor extremely well in the second rotation. 4 scores in the 9-8 range to recover. To the bars for Florida now. Samantha Lutz will be up, one of the tri-captains on this team, the senior All-American. This is one of the events where she specializes.
And this is one of Florida's best events.
You see her getting some last-minute coaching there from Adrian Burde. He's a former coach at the University of Nebraska, the assistant who moved just this year down to Florida to coach the Gators. Head coach Rhonda Fain was formerly a coach at Nebraska. I don't know what it is, but they all work at Nebraska for a while. Maybe it's just too cold.
They get cold.
And they eventually said, we got to come to Florida.
We're not knocking Nebraska, though. We're a little close on that release move, but she managed to hang on.
Heard Rhonda Fain say this is a very good event for them.
Consistently a high-scoring event for them, and that's what they need here. Wow, great landing, full twisting, double layout.
Their first 2 performances, Willis had a 9.9, Zeisser a 9.875. Florida looking good on bars.
Very nice stretched body in this full twisting double back. And the best part, right there, managed to keep those feet stuck on the mat.
Now for Florida on the bars.
This is really where she shines. She has such beautiful form and technique and just flows through this routine.
Comes from that powerhouse program, Hills Gymnastics. Kelly Hill and Jen Bundy, her coaches up there when she was an elite gymnast. They're transferring down to accept a scholarship at the University of Florida.
Wasn't that a beautiful stalder to handstand on the low bar?
There's a sense of calm, beautiful rhythm.
You're right. Very nice dismount, way up there. Tiny little hop.
Florida looking good here. Samantha Lutz had a 9.875.
She's very Horkina-like. Long, lean. Not super strong, but she makes her technique and her swing work for her, and it's effortless.
Horkina, the many-time world and Olympic champion on the uneven bars from Russia. Also a tall, long, flowing style. Emily Parsons on the vault now. Heard Rhonda Fain say this is a very good event for them.
Huge.
The junior out of St. Charles, Missouri.
Look at this, way up in the air. That is bigger than any vault we've seen, and look at her feet.
Man, she almost landed in Little Rock. After a rough start on the first event for Nebraska on the beam, they came back strong with the floor and the vault. Look at these scores, capped by Emily Parsons, 9.975. Quickly to the beam now for LSU, Christy Esposito, the junior out of Slidell, Louisiana. She actually competed for Nebraska and has since transferred down to LSU, her home state. Three-time All-American.
Unfortunately, LSU has had a couple of falls already. So they're going to have to count one score in the eights.
The 05
it is now.
NCAA, she was the runner-up on the balance beam. Phelan, who is normally a rock, scored only an 8.75. Lori Klein with an 8.85. The other scores are respectable in the 9.7 range for the other three performances.
Just that kind of an event. Some even great balance beam workers sometimes are off. Seen some good work here, but unfortunately some balance breaks. Nice double back, but a big step back. Oh, a little rough. This can just be unforgiving sometimes. 4 inches is not a lot of work, a lot of room to work on. You got to get the toes, the feet just in the right place. Pulls around a tuck double back.
There is the head coach, Dee Bro, 30 years at LSU, the dean of coaches at LSU. When we come back to Fayetteville, Arkansas, she will be live in our booth. We'll talk to Dee Bro of the LSU Tigers. Competition continues here at the 2007 Super 6 Challenge at the Barnhill Arena in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Rotation 5, Denver will be on the floor, Florida on the beam, Penn State to the bars, Arkansas on vault. Nebraska and LSU are on a bye, which gives us a terrific opportunity to talk to the dean of coaches at LSU, Dee Bro, 30 years of coaching at this level, and you've seen it all. I didn't think you expected perhaps that performance on the beam from that team.
No, because that's our best event.
Right.
But no, I didn't. But we made some questionable choices in our lineup, and we could have chosen different kids, but we want to get everybody ready for the end of the season, and this is the first meet, so you just start here and move forward.
Kathy, you've been there.
I used to always say I have a love-hate relationship with beam. I love to hate it and I hate to love it.
It'll make you or break you.
I think Jim McKay said it best. That devilish invention must have been created by a man, obviously, but it just can be so fickle. You can see a great balance beam worker who's just a little off. And a little off is a huge disaster.
Well, and I think that's what we saw with Christy Esposito, Kelly Phelan. I mean, we're a very good beam team, and you see it in practice day in and day out, and that kind of stuff. You want to get it done early so that will get your mistakes out of your system.
At least you weren't alone.
No,
everybody's having
so.
a little
Everybody's
bit
struggling.
of trouble over there.
And this particular beam in this particular arena is not a good beam. It's got a kind of a round top to it.
Is that right?
It's not. It's a little questionable.
After the meet, I'll just have to go over there and check it out.
That beam you got at LSU is a little wider than the regular.
And in Baton Rouge, we make them 6 inches wide.
Let's take a look at your resume. You've coached for 30 years, as we said, 18 NCAA championship appearances, 7 regional titles, 5-time SEC Coach of the Year. What can you take from a competition like this and build on for the rest of the season? Obviously, you've experienced this a lot.
Well, we're young. I've got 5 freshmen, and we're trying to get them ready. And then we've got 3 really really good athletes that didn't compete last year. So, that's 8 kids out of a squad of 13. So we're really trying to mix them up and make it fun for them. But at the same time, they got to know that we compete in the toughest league in the nation, and LSU has great expectations.
Now, you said at the top of the show that you don't want to admit how much you miss people like Taryn Martin-Jack and April Burkholder, but do you miss some of their leadership at this time?
Oh, absolutely. Kelly Lee, Taryn, April, I mean, they were just dynamic from their freshman to their senior years, and All-American, all 3 of them their senior years. Yeah, you miss it. You miss that kind of dynamics, but you have to develop the leadership. You have to let the next team take charge and develop their own team personality.
Who do you see that person?
Yeah, who's taking that leadership?
Well, Ashley is a very vocal leader on the team. Kelly Phelan likes to lead, but different kids up and down. I have a freshman that kind of leads the freshman group. Christy Esposito sat out last year and really was kind of a quiet leader for us. So we've got, and I don't have a captain. We don't do captains. We try to develop leaders.
Well, we wish you all the best of the rest of the competition. Thank you for stopping by on your break, and good luck with the final rotation.
Thanks, Bart.
All right, we'll be back with more gymnastics here from Fayetteville, Arkansas, when we come back on ESPN2. Thanks a lot. Welcome back to the Super 6 Challenge. Here are the scores, average scores, at this point in the competition. Florida basically running away with it, 9.832. Nebraska second, LSU, Penn State, Arkansas, and Denver. We put up the average scores because not everybody has competed the same number of apparatus. The only way to compare them apples to apples is to look at their average scores for each performance. Florida in charge. Corey Hartung, the leader of that program, now to the beam.
Florida's off to a fantastic start here on the balance beam. Unlike the other teams, they have not fallen prey to this nasty, nasty piece of apparatus.
Katie Rue had a 9.725. Melody Sinclair a 9.85. Brianne King 9.775.
Such beautiful lines. This is an event where she can really show off her strength.
Florida returns 7 All-Americans. Nebraska is the other team that has 7 All-Americans returning to their lineup this year. Nebraska struggled on beam in that first rotation. Florida, if this is any indication of how they're going to look towards the end of the season, they could literally be challenging for the national championship against Georgia, UCLA, Utah, Alabama, the traditional powers as well.
Very nice. If they can put in some more difficulty, which Rhonda says they definitely have ready, they just have to get it into the routines, get consistent, and wow, look at the consistency so far on this event. There's just such an ease to her gymnastics. Very fluid, 2.5 twist.
Carissa Perkle on the bars now for Penn State. Head coach Steve Shepard said their goal this year is to return to the national scene. Their deepest event is beam. Unfortunately, their thinnest event in terms of depth is the uneven bars.
But they have some good scores so far, ranging from 9.725 to 9.8. They have 3 9.8s. They're doing very well. Name of the game on this event, hit those handstands. Judges are looking for them right in vertical. Good landing on the dismount. He is happy with his team.
Outstanding effort for Penn State on the bars. Known for her work on the vault, the Big Ten vaulting champion. But boy, did she hit a clutch bar routine.
Thinking stick right here, and she pulls it out.
Our little team meeting for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Proud of their performance today. Good start for the season as we go back to the balance beam. Samantha Lutz for the Florida Gators.
So much strategy in collegiate gymnastics. During the warm-ups, I was standing with Rhonda Fain as we were watching balance beam, and we were talking about Amanda Castillo, their new freshman, just an exciting, just a fun gymnast to watch. And she was going to do beam. Rhonda decided to pull her at the last minute. She says it's just not there yet. And you really want to make sure that your athletes get a sense of confidence, that they know that they can hit their routines. So she put veteran Samantha Lutz in.
Castillo was doing some big stuff. Round off pike double back at the end of her routine.
Beautiful, but there were a couple things she just couldn't hit in practice. And as we've seen, the name of the game in collegiate gymnastics is hit, hit, hit. Consistency above all else.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And Florida is one of the few teams that has the kind of depth that they could rotate people in out. That's unfortunate for Lutz. Florida has a commanding lead in this competition, though, unlikely to affect the final team standing. Ashley Reed had a 9.9. Corey Hartung's score was a 9.825. And we noted the other scores as well earlier. So Florida already has 5 outstanding scores.
They have a little bit of breathing room, but you won't have that kind of space at nationals, and they know that. Unfortunately, her shoulders were out in front, and that hurts too, actually, when you land on the edge of the beam and right in the soft spot of your foot.
I like that combination through the dismount, flip-flop layout. Through to the full. Terrific day for the Florida Gators. You see the scores there on the beam. Unfortunately, only a 9-1 for Samantha Lutz, but it doesn't matter. Look at the other scores. And this is the first meet of the season. Florida off to an outstanding start. On the floor now, University of Denver performing there. Here are their scores to this point. A low of an 8.8, but a 9.8 and a 9.85. Jessica Lopez, a 9.85. And this is, folks, a much smaller school than these powerhouses that are also in this competition. So we are set now for Sasha Sullivan, the junior, who is outstanding on this event.
was so good, just a slight off landing on that last double back. It almost looked like it took her by surprise.
Tasha Sullivan out of Glen Allen, Virginia. Outstanding. Well, more gymnastics to come from the 2007 Super 6 Challenge. The final rotation coming up when we come back. Back here in Fayetteville, Arkansas for the final rotation of this year's Super 6 Challenge. Here are the team average scores. Florida, what an impressive start, averaging 9.828 in this contest. Penn State having a very good competition in second by averages. Nebraska third, and you see the rest of the field. In this rotation, both Arkansas and Florida are done. They're essentially in the clubhouse. So the 4 teams remaining, LSU will be on floor, Penn State on the beam, Nebraska on the bars, and Denver will finish on vault. We're getting ready for the final performances in this year's Super 6 Challenge Gymnastics competition. Florida, really impressive. In fact, their score of 196.55 is their second highest opening score ever, and their score on the bars of 49.575 is their third highest score ever. So Florida is in the clubhouse, and they've basically put this competition out of reach for everybody else.
But look at the next 3. It is so close between Nebraska, Penn State, and LSU. So it's up for grabs for second and third.
First place is a lock, though. You got to say it. Florida has this one in the bag, but we'll see who else can finish in the top here at this Super 6 Challenge as we get ready for more competition. Mizelle Zabawa will be on the bars for Nebraska. She's from Nebraska Gold Gymnastics, the 3-time All-American. We talked about Nebraska's goals this year. They want to be back in the top 3 at nationals.
Most of the teams here have had really good competition, especially for this early in the season. Just some trouble over on balance beam. Only Florida so far has managed to stay on that event. Nice swing, double layout, kind of slung it out a little bit, and couldn't come up with a stick.
The other scores for the Cornhuskers, Scafidi had a 9.775, Stone a 9.85, Williams a 9.875. So very good start over there for Nebraska.
She let go just a little bit early and took this double layout out more than she would have liked, so it was really hard to come up with a stick.
To the balance beam. Penn State finishing on the pressure-packed event, no question about that. Casey Rohrbaugh from Spring Grove, Pennsylvania, the freshman. And as head coach Steve Shepard said, his freshman performances will be vital to their success this year.
You talk to all of the coaches. It's the great unknown. Such a transition into collegiate gymnastics. They've got so much to get used to. And whether they're going to come right out, be able to hit routines under pressure when the team counts on them, that's just, it's hard to see until you put them out there and see what they can do.
Oh.
So far, very good scores for Penn State on balance beam, ranging from 9.65 all the way to a 9.8. So good, solid scores. They have a little breathing room. They're going to want to drop this score. She did some nice work, but unfortunately it falls 0.5 of a point off.
Randy Personette had that 9.8 that you referred to.
We so often focus on the mistakes. We seldom go back and really show things that are well done. Very good sequence of jumps. Little crooked on this dismount off to the side, but she managed to stick the landing.
In this team competition, 6 performances, just the 5 count towards the team total, so there is a little bit of a buffer. Nebraska back on the bars. Desiree Snayatinsky of Kenosha, Wisconsin. She said her favorite experience in gymnastics was winning the Big 12 championship back in 2005. 2006, she followed up with the Big 12 uneven bars title. Big release.
And they're putting up some big scores here on uneven bars, ranging from 9.775 all the way to a 9.925. Malo scored. Previous gymnasts, really strong performances here.
And in fact, Vanessa Malosh tied with her last year at the Big 12 championships on this event. Good event for Nebraska.
Go back by our club and talk.
Let's take a look at the averages so far through 5 rotations. Florida 9.828, basically out of reach. Penn State 9.735, Nebraska 9.72, LSU 9.71. Very close there for second, third, and fourth in this Super 6 challenge. The champions will be the University of Florida as they sit on the sidelines on a bye to watch the final performances here at the Super 6 Challenge. They set a score that cannot be beat. Here are the scores on the floor. LSU, little inconsistency there. The highest score, 9.825 for Christy Espedido, the first performer. And we will see in a moment Kelly Phelan, the final performance for LSU on the floor. We talk about strength of schedule. LSU, Georgia, Florida, Alabama. The 4 SEC teams with the 4 toughest schedules in the country. Of course, they all compete against each other all season long. And the hotbed of gymnastics is in the SEC, no question about it. That's why we will be covering 3 events on ESPN2 this year of these incredible SEC gymnastics teams. Here is Kelly Phelan, the senior out of Orlando, Florida. Final performer for LSU on the floor.
They have a low score of 9.275 that they would like to drop. The rest of the scores are 9.575 through to a 9.825. They need a big one here. Big step out of bounds. The kind of 10th of points you just hate to give up.
We'll be back with the final scores and the final standings. Florida has this one in the bag when we come back to the Super 6 Challenge in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Let's take a look at the final standings here at the Super 6 Challenge. Florida dominating with a 196.55. Kathy Johnson-Clark is down on the floor with Florida's Corey Hartung.
Thanks, Bart. Corey, beautiful job today, both you personally and the team. How hard do you have to train? What do you have to do to be ready this early in the season?
Preseason is always a little harder. I mean, we're always working together as a team and just trying to stay focused and just trying to get our routines together and just listening to our coaches and working hard as a team and helping each other cheer each other on.
We were very lucky to have your coach, Rhonda Fain, sit in the booth with us. I want to hear what her gymnasts think about her. What has Rhonda Fain done for Florida Gymnastics?
Personally, I just love her. I look up to her so much. She's such an inspiration. Every day in the gym, she's always telling all of us how great we're doing, and it just helps us to be more confident as a team. Everywhere she works hard with everybody, always helping us, always being so positive, and just always there for us. Whatever we need, she gives to us, and she's always happy and smiling and always there for every one of us.
What do you guys hope for at Nationals this year? Put it out there.
Obviously, the win. We've been working hard all season, and it's important to stay focused as a team, and we've been working hard, and we want it so bad, and I think tonight it did show so early that we want it so bad, and we want the win.
Well, good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Bart.
Congratulations to Corey and the University of Florida Gators for an impressive start to the 2007 season. For Kathy Johnson-Clark, I'm Bart Connor. Thanks for watching ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.